Spoiler warning! Spoiler warning! Spoiler, 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 spoiler warning! Ah!
It cannot be.
Oh! What the fuck?
I can't wait for Julius to sentence William to death or life in jail. And I can't wait to see Yami give him the dimensional slash to the face that he deserves. And I can't wait for... Wait, what is that?
No! No!
Oh boy, you've really done it now, Tabata. I can already see the many triggered fans on letting William off that easy. You set up this whole arc so that William could look like a murderer and commit treason just so you can let him off this easy? This is some fairy tale writing.
お前も行け。しかし。
But in reality, I think Tabata is quite smart, and I'll explain later on in the video. Now the chapter begins with Yami playing the role of the readers ourselves. Yami is asking all the questions we had and reacts in a manner that we can all relate to. Now this is why Yami is one of the best written characters, because this isn't even out of character from his personality either. Now Tabata uses his character to force Julius to explain what exactly happened to him to be back, in addition to exposing Yami's thoughts and what most fans are feeling on the writing. It's killing three birds with one stone. He's a genius. I love the whole interaction between the two characters because we know Julius is like a father figure to Yami. That's why he calls him a geezer or old man. But now we are in a reverse situation, and I wouldn't really be surprised if Julius starts calling Yami GG. Nandesuke. I'm so bad. I don't even know what I just said. But overall, you already know my opinion. I'm happy that Julius is back because it leaves us with so many options on where to take the story of Black Clover. Swiftly moving on to William, I don't really know what to say about this. I'm indifferent currently with what Julius states because it's way too lenient. When Julius says, no matter what reasons you may have had, the crime of betraying the kingdom is heavy. It will take time for everyone hurt to recover. Now I 100% agree with Yami. Julius is being way too carefree and lenient. I mean, it's only like hundreds of people dying, you have committed treason, a war broke out, the kingdom got destroyed, every great magic knight almost perished in another dimension. Oh, whatever. I mean, what else do you exactly need to do to actually get a real punishment, fam? But wait, saying all of this train of thought led me to a possibility that I thought of as a writer. What if I was writing Black Clover myself? Now for Tabata to fix this plot line was for him to explain that Julius saw the future and he has predicted what it may look like, just like he did at the end of the chapter. Now remember last week I made a video explaining why Julius sacrificed himself, and my review video I said that it would fix a plot hole if he did this. It seems as though Tabata and I was on the same track. By doing this, it now makes more sense for Julius to say all of this and take the actions that he did in the past. For example, sacrificing himself against Patri and not killing him, or looking into Asta from the very beginning and taking an interest so he can help kill the devil, because he mentions in the chapter, Asta, you have achieved something amazing, haven't you? Now Julius probably knows that William is an important figure for the war to come against the invading kingdom. Overall, I guess we have to wait and see what his punishment actually is. Now we all know by now that Julius Novachrono came back to life as a 13-year-old kid with a one-page grimoire. He has been significantly weakened, and this will cause a new issue of politics within the kingdom. Now this is because we all know the truth regarding what happened 500 years ago and how the royals and nobles are corrupt. The main problem within the kingdom is the prejudice, the racism, the materialism, whatever you want to call it, where people with no status or low magic have no chance of a great life. There is no equality within the kingdom. There is an oligarchy. Now as a result of this, Julius and Asta have the same dream to end discrimination as a culture. But as we all know, culture takes a long time to change and requires influence and power. So Julius explains that due to being weaker, his influence towards the nobles in terms of having respect or power will weaken. This makes logical sense because nobles do not want to change the culture. We have to remember this. Nobles want to retain the power within the families. This is why I question and I don't understand why the first Wizard King and Licht left in such a rush without explaining to the new generation that they were trying to protect and love. They said this multiple times themselves. How about you tell them the actual truth of what happened 500 years ago, therefore making the kingdom change much faster? You'd think that would be a smart thing to do, right?
Well. Well. Next question. See ya.
The royals and nobles that killed the elves stole the mana for themselves, and that's why they are flourishing 500 years later. But you know, I guess we can't ask these questions because then this arc will not be happening, right? Yo, can you stop asking these logical questions, please? Why? And how come your accent changes every time you phone? Because you get everything right, and I don't like it that you predicted Julius saw the future. It's spoiling my manga, mate. So you are saying Julius saw the future? Did you not read his predictions at the end? Are ya stupid? Anyway, Julius knew what was gonna happen, that he wasn't going to die. And Julius seems to also have used his magic to see the future, to create 3 predictions on what is going to happen in the kingdom. I like what Tabata has done here by interlinking Nero and Lumiere's story to Julius himself. Remember, Sekiri and the First Wizard King created this tool for peace and equality. Now this same tool actually does get used for its true purpose and is helping Julius build what they intended 500 years later. The magic item is named Swallowtail. Swallowtail is Sekiri's last name. Now this name has multiple meanings, let me explain. Swallowtail suits Sekiri obviously because she was a swallow type bird as Nero. Now Julius also has time magic, and he explains that the Swallowtail device was extremely compatible with him and it allowed him to store time and mana in his forehead mark. Now we need to add 2 and 2 together, time and Swallowtail. Now we all have to remember that Swallowtail is a type of butterfly. Why is a butterfly associated with time? Because of the butterfly effect. We have all heard of this term. Now in chaos theory, the butterfly effect is the sensitive dependence on initial conditions in which a small change in one state of deterministic non-linear system can result in a large differences to a later state. In chaos theory, it's a branch of mathematics focusing on the behavior of dynamical systems that are highly sensitive to initial conditions. Chaos theory is an interdisciplinary theory stating that within the apparent randomness of chaotic complex systems, there are underlying patterns and constant feedback loops, repetition, self-similarity, fractals, and self-organizations. Did you get that?
What did you say, nigga?
Now, tell me, what did Julius explain in the chapter? Julius explains chaos theory, the butterfly effect. Julius predicts 3 outcomes with time. One outcome is that another kingdom will attack them. Number 2 is that Asta will die. And number 3 is that both will happen, right? And there's also the fact that he's gotten weaker. Right now, we can all assume that we're gonna see a lot more of the Diamond Kingdom or the Spade Kingdom, which is something we were all hoping for anyway, I'm sure, since Tabata went out of his way to show us a map of the different kingdoms. These 2 regions are most likely to invade because on the information we have about them, the following is described. The Spade Kingdom is a region of winter and fog, home to military power. They own the largest territory of the 4 major powers. The Diamond Kingdom is also a military region which has problems with the Clover Kingdom. It cannot be the Heart Kingdom because we are told they get along. Tabata will decide to either show us the Spade Kingdom invade because it's fresh and new content that everyone wants to see, and they take over Clover whilst they are weaker like Julius stated. And a possible reason why the kingdoms are invading in the first place could be because they view Asta as a threat, or they want to capture him because his anti-magic powers are so unique to the point where it's like having an ace in the deck that no one else can have. It's political. They may want to experiment on Asta to find out what this devil power even is, or how they can manufacture anti-magic weapons themselves to increase their military power and dominance in the kingdoms, as they are based around that. If one of these kingdoms figure out this technology or powers that Asta has, they would then be able to dominate the other kingdoms in a war by disabling the magic knights completely. Think about it. We have to question ourselves why Asta is specifically being targeted. This could be the reason why Asta will die, and follows the political theme of the arc. Julius says himself in the chapter that the second and third problems are very close related, meaning the reason why the kingdoms decide to invade is because of Asta. Is it because they want his anti-magic powers, or they want to destroy it? There are 2 options for Tabata to make. Now, the reason why I'm saying Tabata is a cheeky bugger and smart for writing this is because now that he has explained Julius saw the future and made predictions actions, of course this will force his character and kingdom to forgive the people from the previous elf arc that did all the damage to the kingdom and killed many people. It will make the apology and forgiveness less forced to the eye of the Midnight Sun and William by readers and characters within Black Clover. Now this is because at the end of the day, Julius and the kingdom will need these powerful mages to work together. They need them to defend the regions, so how could they possibly imprison William or the others in times such as this where there's a war about to happen? I mean, if the Clover Kingdom is invaded and many people are dying, I would not be surprised that Asta dies too, because Asta is reckless and has a demon inside him. If Asta witnesses Sister Lily die in front of him, Yuno or others for example, who's to say he does not release the anti-magic demon completely and die in the process? This is why it's great writing for the moment. Now this time prediction will also force the other characters to react to the outcome. For example, Asta will now have to train harder. What if he meets a dwarf and learns something about his weapons that they specialize in? What if he goes on a journey because of this revelation? And this also forces the elves and humans to work in harmony again to help the theme of ending discrimination in the Clover Kingdom. Lastly, this may also force Noelle to be more introspective and think about her feelings for Asta. Will she start to treat him better now that she knows he is going to die? Will she confess her love for him and stop acting like a tsundere? She is obviously concerned about him because in the last page she is gasping in shock like, oh my god, what's gonna happen to Asta? I need Asta, I need ID. I need that big black sword. I'm joking. You know, something's gonna happen. Anyways, that is everything I have to say for the week. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Smash that like button, follow me on Instagram or Twitter, and I'll see you guys next time.